Harriata, welcome to Notts County. This will probably be a bit of a bolt in the blue for a lot of people. Just explain how this interesting loan move's come about.
Just through, friends in the game that knew Ian, and obviously I speak to family and friends, and they kind of know what I would find enjoyable when it comes to football. And people that know Ian, suggested that we had a chat and spoke football and see, if we would have the same sort of ideas. And as soon as I met Ian, it was, quite clear his ideas and philosophies, really matched how I look at the game. And the lower you go down, and this is no disrespect, it's sometimes a little bit difficult to find that, and kind of accepted potentially that might not be a case of going somewhere where I felt like I could enjoy it. But the chat with Ian and seeing bits that he's implemented in the team made it something that a challenge and something that I'd really look forward to doing. And thankfully Forest have been really good in allowing it, and Notts have worked well with them. So hopefully it goes all as well as I think it will in my head.
What elements of Ian's philosophy and the conversations that you've had with him were appealing?
I think his style of play, and obviously style of play is quite vague, but he has a clear identity of how he wants to play. Doesn't get fazed by results, which is a real strength, because I think over the long term that will bring you success if everyone buys into it. Of course, there's going to be tricky periods, and albeit we're on one now when it comes to results. And I think the day I had today in training just kind of proved to me that the players have really bought into the way he wants to play football. They're all very technically very good, good at keeping the ball, and as I said, without being disrespectful to the level, that's quite difficult to find. The lower you go down, it's different to that. You can tell that Ian's had a sort of upbringing that is different to non-league and lower league football. It comes from probably being in the countries he has been in. But I've worked with some really good managers, ones that the older you get, you definitely take so much from them. And speaking to Ian, they're kind of quite similar with that. So I don't want to go somewhere and feel like I can't contribute, and certainly for me at this point in my career, go somewhere where I'm not going to enjoy. And I haven't got any of them doubts in my head, so really looking forward to it.
You've had a fantastic career, and obviously a player's career and style of play develops along with that as you get more experience. You're joining a club that has a philosophy with a few different sort of midfield roles within that philosophy. Where do you see yourself now as a player in terms of a midfielder? Do you still feel like you're very versatile, or is there a preferred midfield role that you like?
No, I still feel quite versatile. It's a difficult one because I haven't played for a while now, and naturally players have a fitter sort of edge to them when they're fitter and match fit, and I have to take in consideration my age. I'm a little bit older now, and I feel like when I was at Fulham, I started to adapt my game to a deeper role, where at Bournemouth it was a lot more box to box. And I think it's just where the manager, I think if you have a clear idea of your role, it's quite easy to go into a game knowing what you need to do. The difficulty is going into a game without a game plan, and the games where I felt like I've potentially not done myself justice or certainly not enjoyed are being in teams that kind of just have no game plan, and every player kind of looks maybe a yard off it when it's physically or pace. And definitely looking forward to being given a specific role from Ian, and I know he does that with his players all individually and collectively. So anywhere in the midfield, as long as it's not up front, I'll be happy.
You touched on training earlier. Obviously it's a difficult time for the club at the minute, a lot of injury and illness, which obviously will pass. But you mentioned that the session was an enjoyable one, and it must have felt good to be out there and working towards a match day again.
Yeah, and I'll be totally honest, that's the the most difficult part of what I've found for the past, what was it, since January to now, so 4 months. It's been difficult going in knowing there's no game at the end of the week, and Andy Reid's been great with me. 23's manager, he's managed me as well as he could, and I think now with the season, coming to an end to an extent, I really feel like I want to go out with a bang in a way and try and get something out of a season that has been really disappointing. There's no two ways about it. It's been as disappointing this season as it was last season for me, and that's disappointing for me because I'm not getting any younger. Football career is so short, and life in itself can be so short. So, I want to try and enjoy everything I can to the maximum, and this is purely coming here thinking I can help the team, and I can definitely have an enjoyment to it as well.
Anybody who's obviously seen you play knows you're a naturally fit footballer, but nothing compares with match sharpness. So how far off 100% do you think you are? What do you think you need to do to get up to full speed?
I don't know really. It's a difficult one because I haven't played at this level for since I was 19, and it's just a different it's going to be a different sort of level for me and a different environment to get used to, and there'll be different fitness elements to this game for sure. There is from the Premier League to the Championship. There's so much difference, and I guess just becoming adjusted to the game, and kind of the first game no doubt will probably be the hardest because it would be going into the unknown. I can watch as many games as I can, and I know Ian will show me clips on what to expect, but I've still got that sort of young mind mentality where if there was a game tonight I'd be asked to be chucked in, so I'll let Ian dictate what he feels best, but I know I'll be putting myself forward to be playing as soon as possible and giving my all. So yeah, Ian would probably be best to ask that, but I know I'll be pushing him to put me in as soon as possible.
You touched on it there. A lot of people look at your career and say, well, will he struggle in a way to adapt to playing at a lower level than you've obviously been used to in recent years? But you obviously did have a decent spell in non-league, didn't you? At the start of your career. Just tell us a bit more about that. Yeah,
I look back on my career and it's probably one of the happiest and the most enjoyable times of my career, which is crazy to say, and that's I'm not just saying it to say it. It really was. Maybe it was my age, and the older you get, the more responsible you have to come, and that probably comes with an added pressure. But I had a great time. It was Conference South. Was at Woking, and that really kick-started my career. I was a young boy that had aspirations of playing in the Premier League. I remember some of my teammates looking at me thinking I was way off it and had no chance with where we was at that time, Conference South to the Premier League. But I really had a desire to play in the Premier League. It wasn't a dream. I genuinely believed I could, and I thought with hard work and a bit of luck, looking at it now, you need a lot of luck to coincide with hard work. Anything's possible, and if there's any lads here that I can try and give a little bit of advice to, and sort of never give up on your dream really, because as cheesy as that sounds, the only way you're going to achieve what you really want in football is by working hard every single day. And I did that at Woking, and lucky, as I say, got lucky going to Bournemouth under Eddie Howe, who was an unbelievable manager, and it's no surprise he's achieved and carry on achieving what he has. But really got lucky working with him and helped me develop my game. But I love non-league, and that's why when this come about I didn't have any qualms of dropping down. To me the level doesn't really matter. Looking forward to playing and seeing what it brings.
Dagenham away on Saturday, you're going to be walking into a dressing room again, you're going to potentially be involved in the squad. How good's that going to feel, pulling on the shirt and all that sort of stuff?
Really good. We had a good day's training today, so really tough day. Probably tougher than I was expecting, if I'm being honest. But no, it was a good day, and never played at Dagenham, so it'd be an experience. And yeah, just that feeling of a match day. Every player, that is ultimately what you work hard for from day to day, and as a player, knowing that you got absolute no chance of being involved is a difficult one to really get yourself motivated for the week ahead. So, you know, today when I was, you know, doing my running and stuff like that, in the back of my mind I knew that there was a game Saturday, and it made it feel a bit easier, and it made it feel worth it. So, you know, fingers crossed Ian gets me involved, and as I say, really looking forward to that.